I shared two bearish targets last week. Let's see how close Bitcoin came to those targets. We were warned 2 weeks ago by this well-known trader that Bitcoin was going down. He was right, but will we be seeing more red? If you want to be rich, we need to change our mindset and follow what the smart money is doing. All this and more in today's episode. What's up everyone, CryptoFree here. Thank you very much for joining me on today's episode, and let's get right on into it. As I shared with you last week, I shared two videos with you, one with the bullish perspective and one with the bearish perspective, and clearly the bearish one played out. And within that video, I shared two bearish targets. One was based off of the symmetrical triangle. The height of the triangle continued down further. The target was potentially 24,268. And the other one was a head and shoulders pattern within the symmetrical triangle based on this pink line here. That's the neckline here. And the measured move from the head down to the neckline is this purple line here. And the target was about $28,000. Well, what happened? Well, Bitcoin almost reached my target. It bounced off at about 28,984, but looks like Bitcoin may potentially hit my target because what's happening with Bitcoin now? Well, let's take a look. Bitcoin, it had formed a bear flag here. So let me just draw some quick lines for you guys to see what happened with Bitcoin here. So Bitcoin dropped, found support at about the 28,900 level and has been finding support and resistance within this bear flag here and broke down once again. Now, what would be the target of this bear flag? The bear flag target here would be the length of the pole from the swing high, which is up here, down to the base of this bear flag here. And then you bring that to where it broke out, which was about here. And the new target then we're looking at is about around 26,401, which that in itself is not too far off from the target of this large symmetrical triangle, the target which would be about 24,000. So it's all within that region. It looks like Bitcoin is looking to go further down, and this based on this analysis here, it definitely coincides with what Bob Lucas shared with us 2 weeks ago. It looks like it's indeed playing out based on the day chart that Bob Lucas created here. He already forecasted that Bitcoin could drop down to potentially a target of about 24,000 based on this chart here. And by the looks of my analysis, it is indeed coming into fruition. So it does look like we are looking at some more pain coming up, but there's always a silver lining with Bitcoin, and this is why. Now, if I was to remove some of these lines, just make it a little easier for you guys to see. Move this, move this, move this, this. By moving some of these lines here, the silver lining is that Bitcoin potentially is forming a bull flag, which is fantastic. It's definitely something that we could hope towards, and I believe is going to play out. We are going to definitely feel some more pain, but that's what I believe Bitcoin is forming. But if we to keep into play the potential target of that symmetrical triangle down to about 24,296, what would that make? What would be the pattern then? Well, if we were to just readjust the line down to here and just connect the dots here, let's say Bitcoin does drop down to about there, then that forms a descending broadening wedge, which in itself is also a bullish pattern. So what would be the targets then based on these two patterns here? The target then for the descending broadening wedge would be, if we were to take the top of the flag and then bring it down to the potential target of 24,300, let's say, and if we were to add this to the breakout, and well, no one really knows when the breakout would be, but let's say hypothetically sometime in mid-February. So I'm just going to say a date of, let's say February, say mid-February there. Then the breakout then would be about 48,225. hypothetically. Again, I don't know when exactly we're going to break out, but I just picked mid-February. 2 weeks time seems pretty a potential target there. What then would be based on if this was a bull flag? Well, if it was the bull flag, then we would take the top of the flag and then bring the targeted move down to the bottom of the flag there. And then the breakout then would be, if it's around the same time there, the target would be about approximately 54,273. So these are the potential targets I'm looking for when Bitcoin does break out, whether it's in this bull flag formation or if it's a descending broadening wedge. Next I want to talk about here is this article I found in the Daily Hodl, and it states institutions aren't piling into Bitcoin to get rich, they're piling into Bitcoin to stay rich, says Ari Paul. And I think it's important for me to share this with you because we need to change our mindset about being rich. And what better way to follow suit than to see how institutions think of being rich. And well, let's get into the article here. Ari Paul, the co-founder and chief investment officer of crypto asset investment firm Block Tower Capital, says institutional investors are increasingly buying Bitcoin to protect their wealth. So it's quote here. We've been talking with a lot of billionaires in the financial world. It's such an interesting shift in mindset. They are now thinking defensively. They are thinking enough of their billionaire buddies have 10% of their net worth in Bitcoin. If they don't, they are thinking, man, if Bitcoin does another 20x, I'm not invited to the parties anymore. I'm not in that rich club, which wherever they are in the hierarchy. So now they are thinking, I need a passive allocation. I need 10% of my net worth in this just to keep up, just in case. It's not about getting rich, it's about staying rich. Our mindset should be like that of the institutions here and how they think. And that is, it's not about getting rich, it's about how we are staying rich. And that plays in so importantly nowadays simply because in the most recent article here from CBS News, third stimulus check, when would you get a $1,400 check? Now, this is based off of the US here, but the point is this, whether it's US or Canada, I mean, every country is printing money like mad. And as you know, printing that much money, it just devalues the dollar. Look, in the US, they're printing $1.9 trillion, and this is for their coronavirus relief plan. It is currently proposed, but it's looking to go through. So again, this is how the rich thinks. They know that the dollar is devaluing tremendously. How do we stay rich? And just to show you a little further here, as I mentioned, it's not just the US that's printing like mad, all other countries as well. So based on Statista.com, value of COVID-19 fiscal stimulus packages in G20 countries as of October 2020 as a share of GDP. So as you know, GDP is a monetary measure of the market value of all the final goods and services produced. And so in Japan, it's 21%. In Canada, it's 16%. In Australia, it's 14%. So, a lot of money printing is happening here. Money is devaluing like crazy. So if we get into a mindset of how do we protect our money, how do we stay rich, then it's Bitcoin. Thanks very much for joining me in today's episode. If you like this type of content, please give me a like and subscribe, as it would really help the channel. And please share it with someone who thinks they will find value in this content. Thank you once again, and have yourself a great day.